Hello friends and happy Wednesday. It's time for another family night craft brought to you by the Northeast branch of Reading Public Library. And this week we're doing something I have wanted to do for ages, and it is making wildflower seed bombs. So what are wildflower seed bombs? The basic concept is we'll be making a little ball that will dry out. It'll have clay and dirt and a bunch of wildflower seeds inside. So we're basically going to make a mixture, let it dry out, and then you can toss it in any patch of dirt and it'll grow native wildflowers. And I've specifically picked this seed blend because it attracts different pollinators like bees, butterflies, mostly bees, that we like around here, and it's not going to disturb our native ecosystem. Instead, it'll actually help them improve. So you can throw it in your garden, throw it in an old abandoned lot, throw it anywhere you'd like to grow some wildflowers to attract some bees. So if you haven't already, make sure you pick up your Go Pack with all the supplies you'll need for this craft from the Northeast branch of Reading Public Library if you haven't already. The corner of 11th and Pike Streets, right across from the playground. So the only things you'll need that aren't in the bag are some sort of bowl to mix it in, probably paper towels because this is quite messy, and you'll need some sort of thing to dry your balls on. I like to use parchment or wax paper on sort of a baking sheet or a table. You can also use paper plates, which is what I'm going to use in this video. So let's get started. Okay, so to start, I have my bowl. Now it's gross, but we're going to have to mix this with our hands. A spoon is not going to cut it with the clay, so I'm going to start by rolling up my sleeves. I recommend short sleeves for this, but if you have long sleeves, roll them up like so. Like I said, make sure you have some paper towels handy, or better yet, we're doing an Earth Month. If you have them, use a rag or a towel that's washable. I have my paper plates set aside so we can dry stuff on them. Now, if you get your bag, it should look like this. We are using paper bags for Earth Month. Like always, you'll have your instruction sheet in here. It'll have the amounts you need for everything. It's a good reminder. So what else do we have in the bag? Well, you'll need some wildflower seeds. Here I actually put about a tablespoon, but you only need really half a tablespoon, a teaspoon. I have a 1/4 cup of potting mix. You can also use dirt from your yard. Just take a shovelful. And finally, I have a 1/2 cup approximately of air dry terracotta clay. Also, to bond everything together, I have my handy dandy reusable water bottle here. You're going to need a 1/4 cup of water. You can measure it out, or you can just add water little by little to see how it works. So I'm just going to add things in. It doesn't really matter exactly what order they're in. I think I will add my clay first. And I want to tell you guys, you can reuse these Ziploc bags, just rinse them out. They'll last you a pretty long time. So I'll take my clay. I'm just gonna mush it out a little bit, make it easier to mix. I'm just gonna break it into some little pieces. Not sure how much that'll make of a difference, but. And I want to point out to you, because I talked about the paper towel, look how messy my hands are already. Okay, next I'm going to add the dirt on top. Like so. This is what it looks like so far. Now I have my wildflower seeds, and those go in as well. So we have this mix here. I actually think it smells really nice. It smells like a garden. And now I'm going to add a little bit of water on top, about a 1/4 cup. Now I will warn you, if you have a long nail, you're going to dirt under your nails, so have a nail brush handy. But let's mix. Looks good. I think I might have added slightly too much water. So gross. If you add too much water, I would probably just go out and grab some more dirt from your yard. Or just wait for it to dry out a little bit. Remember, we are going to let this dry for a while. Okay, I think I see the problem. I need to mush up this clay more. That's what it looks like so far. Pretty gross. So basically our clay is going to help us dry this out and act as a binder and a little bit of a protector. And the soil is going to make sure the seeds have everything they need to get them started growing. And the seeds, well, they're the seeds that grow into our beautiful wildflowers. Okay, I think this mix is as good as I'm going to get it. And this is why I said you want paper towels. Obviously you'll need to also wash your hands, but if you need to touch anything, make sure you wipe them off first. So I'm grabbing my paper plates here. And now what you want to do is form these into balls. And we're going to leave them to dry. So these might be a little gloppy and not as perfectly ball-like as I had thought. Because I added like too much water. Oh, hey, it holds together pretty well. If you liked making mud pies as a kid, you will love this. It's like little dirt meatballs. It's sort of a similar process to making meatballs too. As a kid, I never liked making them with my grandmother because you had to mix them with your hands. And that's what this is all about too. All right, so let me wipe up my hands. How gross. Make sure you wash them. But here are my finished seed bombs. Well, not quite finished, so very important to note. What you want to do now is set them someplace where there's good airflow to dry. So maybe near a window that you keep open, or if there's not a particularly good place, anywhere will work. Just preferably not someplace where you're going to drop something in it and get it all dirty. But you'll have to check it depending on where you live. And the weather, it really varies how long it'll take this to dry. So if we have really dry weather, it might take less time. If it keeps raining, it might take a while, but I'd say in a day or two, these will be nice and dry, and then have fun tossing them wherever you want some wildflowers to grow. We want to save the bees, and to do that, we need to make sure there are plenty of flowers where they love to collect pollen. So I hope you enjoyed this craft. I hope it brings you beautiful spring flowers, and I will see you next Wednesday for another family night craft. Bye, friends.